So, this proves that smoking is bad for your health. My name's Tenchi. Let's start. Okay, first we will remove all the labels on this bottle. You have to be patient when removing these labels because they stick real hard. Now that this is clean, all we have to do left is to draw a face on the bottle. This will represent the human face. Okay, so now that we're done making a drawing here, we're gonna have to create a hole in the bottle. That's gonna be where we're gonna place the cigarettes in. And to do that, we're gonna have to heat this up. Caution, please do not play with fire, especially without your parents' supervision. Alright, you have to make sure that the hole must be big enough for the cigarette to fit inside. Okay, let's open the cigarette box and see if this can fit inside. That's not large enough, that's not large enough. Right, so we have to make it a bit more bigger. Just a little bit. Large enough now. So it's okay if it's a bit too large as long as it can fit. We are going to fill this bottle with cotton. It's going to represent the lungs. So why we're doing this is to show you the effects of smoking when you inhale and exhale. Now that this bottle is filled with cotton, all that we have to do is to close it like this, cover the bottle, but we're going to have to leave the cap open because we're going to recreate the breathing motion in the human body. So now let's see how much nicotine would stick into the lungs and breathe a single stick of cigarette. Okay, so now that we're done with our first cigarette stick, let's have a closer look. As you can see, the cotton has turned slightly brown. In theory, that is how much nicotine sticks to your lungs while you smoke. Now, let's have our second stick. This is our second cigarette stick. If you don't like the smell of the smoke, I suggest you wear a face mask. And remember, secondhand smoking is also bad for your health. Okay, so now we have finished our second cigarette stick. Let's take a look at the effects. As you can see, the cotton has turned even more brown, which means more nicotine has stuck onto the cotton. Let's have our third cigarette stick. Now that we're done with the third cigarette, let's observe. You can see that more nicotine has stick onto the cotton. Let's have a closer look. There's the nicotine. Now that we're done with our third cigarette stick, let us continue our experiment and finish off with our fourth and final cigarette stick. So, our fourth and final stick has already been done. Let's observe. Let's have a closer look, shall we? As you can see, you'll notice the amount of nicotine that sticks onto the cotton. So, this proves that smoking is bad for your health. Inside the airways and lungs, smoke increases the likelihood of infections and chronic diseases. It does this by damaging the cilia, which are tiny head-like structures whose job is to keep the airways clean. Then smoke fills the alveoli, which are air sacs that enable the exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. And then a toxic gas called carbon monoxide passes through the alveoli into the blood, binds with the hemoglobin, and then displacing the oxygen that it would usually transport around the body, causing oxygen deprivation and shortness of breath. As a side note, cyanide can exist in a gaseous form known as hydrogen cyanide, and it can be found in cigarette smoke. That's because hydrogen cyanide is a byproduct of burning tobacco in an oxygen deficient environment. Here are some ways for you to take care of your lungs. First, you must avoid breathing polluted air. Second, you have to exercise because it helps improve the circulation of oxygen. And aside from that, it also helps strengthen your tissues around your lungs. And most of all, you have to avoid smoking. I'm not an expert. This is just based on my research. My name is Tenji, and I hope you learned something from this video.